Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is going to be your weekly astrology energy forecast for the week of February 17th through February 26th, 2026. It's getting off to be kind of a rough week. I had my birthday February 16th and also had a square from the sun with Uranus in Taurus the same day. So I'm kind of all over the place as far as like my emotions go, and you may be feeling the same way. So this week is layered. Okay, we move through Aquarius reset into deep Pisces waters, and then into bold Aries ignition and grounded Taurus stabilization, mental Gemini activation, and we close entering Cancer while Mercury stations retrograde in Pisces. So this is a bridge week between clarity and surrender, between fire and water, between action and intuition. Yesterday, February 17th, I couldn't put out the video because I was busy working. So life doesn't always allow us to do the things that we want to do. And I'm still trying to figure out how I'm able to just work on what I want to work on. And so I wrestle with that a bit. How many of you wrestle with that too? So we had the new moon in Aquarius yesterday and also solar eclipse energy. We weren't able to see the solar eclipse here in the States or in Europe. And many other places you weren't able to. I think it was Chile, Argentina, and Antarctica that they were able to see. Not sure where else, but we still get the energy from that. It still affects us. So the new moon in Aquarius was at 28 degrees, and that's a critical degree point. Okay. It wasn't soft energy. It was timeline reset energy. And you could have felt tired, low energy, maybe even felt defeated. So Aquarius at 28 degrees asks, what future are you actually choosing? You may have felt emotional detachment, a sudden desire to upgrade your circle, realization that you've outgrown old dynamics, nervous system activation without visible external change. And this seeds innovation, it seeded independence, and it's seeding a higher timeline. It sets the tone for everything that is unfolding this week. Okay. So also we have the moon that entered Pisces yesterday evening. And we've got Venus conjunct North Node in Pisces that also happened. So immediately after that Aquarius reset, we moved into Pisces waters. This is where logic dissolves and soul contracts activate. Venus conjunct North Node in Pisces is the karmic love energy. It's destiny through compassion. It's alignment through surrender. You may have thoughts about someone from the past, felt heightened intuition or dream activity, experienced romantic idealism, questioned whether something is fate or fantasy. So this transit is asking you, are you choosing from your soul or from savior mode? It's a beautiful energy, but it also requires boundaries, healthy boundaries. February 18th, which is today, the sun entered Pisces, and now Pisces season officially kicks off. And collective energy softens, your ego dissolves, and sensitivity increases. Also, spring is closer for those in the Northern Hemisphere. You may feel more emotional, more tired, more intuitive, more creative, less motivated in linear ways. And that's me. I'm having a hard time getting going. This isn't water season. Flow, don't force. Okay, so Pisces season is about integration, not initiation. And also here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have false spring, which means that it was warm for a good few days, like around 50 degrees, and then it goes back down to the 20s. Yeah, spring fools. And now it's super muddy and wet outside. February 19th, the moon enters Aries, and then suddenly fire. After days of water, Aries moon shifts the emotional tone. You may feel irritated, motivated, impatient, ready to act. I don't know. I may be feeling things a bit early. I've always come to know that about myself. Well, not always, but I've come to know that about myself over the last few years, that I tend to feel things early, of what's happening astrologically. And how many of you feel that way too? So emotions move quickly under Aries. You don't want to sit in feelings. You want to do something. But be mindful, reaction is not the same as aligned action. This moon activates the larger background transit, okay, which is Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. This is ongoing, okay? This is the long arc energy running underneath everything. So Saturn equals structure, Neptune equals dreams, Aries equals initiation. This is build the vision energy. But it can also feel like disillusionment around leadership, questioning your identity, spiritual burnout, realizing fantasy isn't sustainable. This transit is asking, are you disciplined enough to manifest what it is you say you really want? Dreams require structure now. We're moving into Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow phase right now, so I may mess up my words a lot, and I'm not even going to edit it. So then we have nothing happening on the 20th. I mean, nothing specifically happening. There's still things ongoing, like the Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, that's ongoing. And then February 21st, we have the moon entering Taurus, finally grounding. The moon in Taurus slows everything down. Nervous system calms. Your body speaks louder than your thoughts. You may crave comfort, food, stability, physical affection, financial reassurance. This is good energy for your budget review, self-care, beauty rituals, practical planning. And after the Aries fire, the Taurus says stabilize before you escalate. Then February 22nd, which is 222 for my number friends, my number sync friends who see 222. So Venus trines Jupiter that day. This is a soft blessing of the week. And with Venus, Pisces trine Jupiter in Cancer, it's emotionally generous, romantic, and supportive. This can bring heart-opening conversations, financial opportunities, family healing, spiritual reassurance. This is grace energy. It's something that aligns effortlessly this weekend, so trust it. And then February 23rd, the moon enters Gemini. Energy picks up mentally. You may feel more social, more talkative, restless, curious, possibly overthinking, so you may have to do some grounding. This is great for content creation, communication, networking, processing emotions verbally, but be careful of overthinking what your intuition already answered earlier in the week. And February 26th, the moon enters Cancer. And Mercury retrograde and Pisces begins. So this is where things get introspective. Cancer moon heightens sensitivity, and Mercury retrograde in Pisces blurs the mental clarity. So you can expect some emotional nostalgia, past conversations resurfacing, miscommunications, spiritual downloads, vivid dreams. This is not a week to push hard decisions. This is a week to reflect, review, reconnect, recalibrate, all them rewords. So Mercury retrograde in Pisces is intuitive correction energy. If something feels off, it probably is. You may need to come back to the conversation or think about it and like pause before you respond type thing. Pause to think about things, think things thoroughly. Or you may need to get more clarification. And it's important also to have patience if you are trying to communicate with others. So this week is a transition corridor from air, water, fire to earth, air to water, all the elements. We are cycling through every element. And if you feel emotionally inconsistent, that is why. Honor the elements of the day or of the hour. Don't force consistency in a transitional week. And if you want to know how these transits are hitting you specifically, your houses and placements, that's where a personal reading comes in. And you can contact me on how to get one of those. I offer different types of readings. But if you would like a personal transit reading, go ahead and direct message me or email me through my link in my bio link tree. So I am sending you lots of love and support through this week. Thank you for taking time out to listen, and I really appreciate you and your support. Sending you lots of love and light, piercing through the shadows. Namaste.